Colorado. There's just something about the state. The way the wind sighs through the conifers and rattles the aspen is just so relaxing. The mountain views are incredible and the colors are like nowhere else. Of course, the best thing about Colorado for me is the number of high mountain trails. It's been several years since we spent any real length of time in the state, and last time we were here, we were plagued by problems. For the most part, mechanical issues and wildfires meant that we had to skip large parts of our route. This time, we meant to complete that route. Of course, we started off with a problem not 30 minutes after getting to camp. Well, we're not off to a good start on our camping trip. We're having issues with the stove, and I don't know exactly what the problem is. It's either, well, basically there's no gas coming through, no propane coming through, so we've got half-cooked meat in there, and kind of half-cooked spaghetti noodles as well, because that was what we were going to have tonight. It's either this adapter that we've got is blocked in some way and it's just not letting enough through, or there's an issue with the stove itself, and I'm not really sure what to do. We either need to get a new stove or just like some 1 pound tanks just to try out, because I didn't bring any 1 pound tanks. So we'll think about it and hopefully come up with something in the morning. Oh, and eat sandwiches for tonight. Our first morning, we set out through Cripple Creek, a mining town west of Colorado Springs. If you visit the area, your first stop should be the Molly Kathleen Gold Mine, which offers tours deep underground. Just south of the mine is Phantom Canyon Road, which immediately took us into the incredible fall colors of Colorado. At the end of the road, we came out into Canyon City, where we'd find the only Walmart of the trip. We replaced our useless and rattly stove and picked up some 1 pound propane bottles in place of the broken regulator. From there, we continued south up into the hills of San Isabel National Forest. Oh, good catch. I thought I was gonna miss the tree. Apparently I thought wrong. Gimbal's not looking too healthy. The tree did catch it. Let's take it out and see how it looks. Well, this is camp for the night. It's a little spot that we've actually stayed at before, right on the edge of San Isabel National Forest. It's nice and secluded, no one really comes through here. And if you end up coming this way, over the hill behind me is Mission Wolf. It's a little wolf sanctuary, and they take in wolves, some injured wolves, and mostly wolf-dog hybrids that people have thought they could take care of, and then they end up just being far too wild. They end up getting sent here to Mission Wolf, and it's well worth a visit if you're in the area. Anyway, tonight, well, I guess the first thing I need to do before setting up camp is figure out if the drone works. I may have got a little too cocky coming in here, and I saw a tree off to the side of the trail. I was like, oh, that'd be really cool if I fly just behind it, have that like zoom right across in front of the camera, and flew right into it. So you saw when I pulled it out of the tree, it looks okay. So let's give it a go. A couple of the blades are a little nicked, and one's got a big crack in it, so I think I'm just going to switch those out and we'll see. Looks like they've all got cracks in them, so I'm going to have to pick up some more blades. Alright, here goes. So the thing I'm most worried about is the gimbal. And it's looking okay. Yep, it's done it. Well, that was cool.
Yeah, that was really neat.
Good morning. So we're all packed up and ready to go. You can probably just hear the Forerunner running in the background. We're about to head southwest from here towards Imogene Pass and then into the sand dunes. And before we go, I figured I'd kind of show you something. And I'm probably going to be preaching to the choir here with my viewers. But in the background behind me, there's loads of little piles of white. That is toilet paper. The camp right here, you know, little fire ring been set up right there, and then right under these trees here, loads of little pieces of toilet paper. And I won't share with you the close-up view because it's pretty gross. But if you're out camping somewhere like this, there's several ways you can go poop, and we've got a shovel. So one way we go is go off and dig a hole and poop in the woods. And if you're going to do that, go a fair distance away from camp, not right here. And the other thing we've got is one of those foldable toilets, and got some little baggies that go with it. And I'll put links to both of those because those are great if you're somewhere where the ground's just too hard for you to dig. Here it's not. Like if you go off into the woods, the ground's really soft. So there's options. Anyway, I'll quit preaching, and hopefully you enjoy the ride along. As the crow flies, it was about 10 miles to Imogene Pass. According to Google Maps, however, it was a 22-mile drive around Black Mountain. I looked at the Forest Service maps on Gaia that morning and found a shortcut that took us directly over the top of the mountain. We decided to give it a go. As we reached the top of the mountain, we discovered a problem. We'd taken a left where we were supposed to have gone right. I turned the drone around and took a look. Obviously, my map was out of date. We turned around and backtracked to the previous intersection, and getting signal on the top of the mountain again, quickly checked in on the cats.
Yeah, so that basically takes us way back out there, and we need to be over here. So we'll head double back and try this one. See if we can get through that way, either up here or around here, whichever looks best.
Well, my shortcut hasn't really worked out so well. The whole goal was cutting across, otherwise you have to drive really far south down to Gardner and then back up north to get to Stoney Pass. So like, well, we'll cut across the National Forest land, some BLM land, and go straight to the highway. And obviously the road we were going to take was closed and had been for quite some time. Very little evidence that it actually even existed. So we found this one on the map, and we're right on the edge of the National Forest land now, and you can see it's gated off. So I guess we'll turn around and go all the way back up to the main county road that we're on, and back down to Gardner, and then up the highway to Stoney Pass. So our shortcut cost us a couple of hours. Although the view from up here is great. Take a look at this. Well, here it is, Great Sand Dunes National Park. It's quite an impressive sight with the billions of tons of sand that you see behind me. And getting in here through Migraine Pass is just amazing. I've done it before in the summer, but in the fall it's like nothing else with all those colors. If you've done it before, I really recommend coming back in the fall. And if you haven't done it, then obviously you got to take some time to come out here. As you come out of the pass, there's some air, free air, so we've aired up. It's actually really fast. It took 25 seconds to go from 20 to 40 psi. So we're all aired up now, and we're gonna go out on the pavement and head over to Creed, which I've been looking forward to visiting for some time. Look at those views behind me. We're up on a place called Sunnyside just outside of Creed, and we decided to stop off in Creed and pick ourselves up some food. And we come up here looking for a place to camp and to eat. However, you may be able to tell that it is quite windy. So we're going to sit here and eat, and then we'll probably head down into the valley a little more to look for somewhere to camp, just to get out of the wind. Tomorrow we're going to be heading up there to see, well, basically all the old mines, the old mining structures up there, and I'm kind of excited. I like them. Elizabeth thinks I'm a massive nerd, but I think they're cool, so I'll see you tomorrow morning. The next morning, we set out on the 17-mile Bachelor Loop Trail, which takes you high into the hills above Creed. The network of roads takes you through the historic mining district, passing the ruins of mines that caused Creed's boom over 100 years ago. In the 1890s, the discovery of silver in the area led to a huge influx of prospectors and investments, with dozens of mines opening. Many of those can still be seen today. The mines were so successful that the huge Humphreys Mill was opened to process the ores, although today all that remains is the foundation. As you drive the loop, there is one particular structure that stands out due to its impressive size and condition: the Commodore Mine. This was just the perfect spot for lunch. It's just great views up there. I love seeing all the old mining structures up there, especially this one right behind me here, which I think is really cool. And the whole loop's fun. You know, going up into the mountains, very scenic up there, coming back down through the other valley. I just love it here in Creed, and I'm glad we're able to do it this time, because last time I'll have to show you some video, but you could barely see. It was you could see the other side of the valley here, but when we went up to the place we camped last night, you could not see the other side of the valley. It was so smoky. It was very unpleasant, so we ended up leaving. So now we're gonna head back down through Creed and head off into the mountains towards Silverton. We're up here at Stoney Pass, 12,650 feet, and it is a long trail from Creed to get here. A lot of unpaved roads getting here. Some of them kind of stony, rough, I guess it's in the name, but it's well worth it. The scenery as you come through here is beautiful, and looking forward now, we're gonna head down into Silverton, and I think I do know a little campsite. There's a little campsite to the south of Silverton that I know. It's a really nice one right on the creek. I got it from Bold Overland. But I think we're going to head up into Ouray, and we may find a little campground up in Ouray. Unfortunately, I managed to pull one of the hoses off the shower that we have a couple of days ago, and I broke the hose clamp on it. So we've been without a shower for a couple of days until I can get some more hose clamps. So it'd be nice to go up there and get a shower and clean up, and then tomorrow hit some more mountain passes. From Stoney Pass, we drove down through Silverton, taking the beautiful $1 Million Highway north into Ouray. Not only did camping in Ouray give us access to showers, it also meant that the next morning we woke up 5 minutes from the trail. We are at the base of Imogene Pass, and this is one of those passes we've wanted to do for a very long time. We've been to Ouray 2 or 3 times before, and we've never been able to do Imogene Pass, just for various reasons. First time we were here, my Jeep was having issues, so we couldn't make it. And then I think the other times we've been here, it's just been blocked by snow. So this is the first time we've actually been able to do it. I've gone up part the way with Andreas last year, and it was very pretty. So I'm looking forward to seeing the full thing. I'm still not sure which one's more scenic, this one or Stoney Pass. But like I said, I haven't done this one yet, so I can't really make that call. But looking forward to it. Okay, so Stoney Pass is pretty, but the views from Imogene are definitely the best. Just looking out that way, you can see all the way down into Telluride. You can just see for hundreds of miles, and then that way you got Ouray off in the distance. Just incredible views up here. I don't think it gets better than this. At least on all the passes I've been on, the views are the best from the top of Imogene. I'm sure that Black Bear has some pretty good views as well, but I don't think I'm quite brave enough to do that. So you'll have to let me know if you think Black Bear's better than Imogene. So we're going to stop for lunch here. This seems like a really good spot for lunch just because of the views. And then we'll head down into Telluride. I think Elizabeth's ready for lunch.
Yeah, I'm starving.
Good. Should we pull out the trail?
Yeah.
What kind of park?
Next to that house thing.
Yeah, house. We parked right in the middle. Let's pull over next to the house.
Structure.
Well, this is our camp spot for the night. We'd originally planned to go down into Telluride and then up Overland Pass and across to a little campsite that I know on a creek south of Silverton. But unfortunately, we just weren't going to have time. It was 4:30 by the time we got to Telluride, and it'd take us a couple hours to get across the pass, and then probably another hour to get to the campsite. And we figured we'd just come up here. This is it's overlooking Telluride. It's down in the valley there, and this is probably my favorite campsite in the world. It's just down that way down the trail. But unfortunately, it was taken. That's the first time I've ever come up here and had it taken. So we came up here. The campsite at the top is also taken. So I ended up kind of perched on the edge here. But fantastic views across the valley. And we'll get set up, have some dinner here. We'll do Overland Pass tomorrow. Unfortunately, last night as we were getting ready for camp, as we were cooking dinner and getting into bed, Elizabeth started developing one of her really bad migraines. And if you have migraines, you probably know how it is. It's one of those ones that's going to hang around for a couple of days if we don't get her some medicine. And unfortunately, she left her migraine medicine at home. So we're going to find a CVS, and I believe there's one up in Montrose. So we're going to head up there. Does mean we won't be doing the passes down here, or at least we won't be doing them today. So we'll head up there. We're going to reevaluate. A couple of hours later, we pulled into the Target parking lot where CVS was located. It was there that Elizabeth pointed out that we'd had a visitor in the night. Thankfully, only the dry trash had been in the trash route, with all food waste in a bare vault further down the hill. The rest of the day we decided to take it easy, so rather than find some trails, we headed to Black Canyon of the Gunnison National Park. The canyon is impressive due to its sheer cliffs and narrow passage. Over the course of 2 million years, the river has carved its way down almost 3,000 feet through some of the oldest rock in North America. So deep and narrow that parts of the canyon receive only around 30 minutes of sunlight a day. Another thing that makes it really stand out is how patterned the cliffs are, particularly the painted wall, which has enormous stripes of pale rock crossing over its entire face. That evening, we decided to go east, heading towards Leadville. Well, this was our campsite for last night. We were in a forest just outside of Leadville. It was pretty cold here, definitely below freezing, and unfortunately I left my shower out. I got it fixed, I put on a new hose clamp, and then left it out overnight, and everything inside it's frozen this morning. I'm really hoping I didn't ruin the shower unit or the pump. Otherwise I'll have to go and replace those. But we managed to keep warm with my new heater, which I'm going to do a video on soon, so make sure you subscribe to see that. It's better than diesel heater, but it's a lot more expensive. So I'll tell you more about that in another video. But we're up near Leadville in the forest here. Unfortunately, that does mean that we're not going to do Corkscrew Pass and Cinnamon Pass, but you've got to save something for another day. But we've got some cool stuff planned up here. I think we're going to head up into the mountains in that kind of direction, and it's also put us about 3 hours closer to home because today is our last day. Up on the hill behind me is Champion Mill. It's one of those really impressive structures left over from the mines that used to be around here. Apparently you used to be able to walk right up to it or drive right up to it, but it's gated off now, so unfortunately we can't. But luckily they don't own the airspace around it, so I can fly the drone over it. Little pro tip for you if you're flying a drone: don't stick your pinky out when you catch the drone, you know, like you're drinking your tea, because it hurts. It really hurts. I put a little cut right across my pinky there, and bleeding pretty good until I put the band-aid on, so don't do that. But flying the drone was really cool. I was able to see, even through the little screen on the phone, I was able to see a lot more detail than I could from this far away. And one of the things that became kind of obvious is that thing is on its last legs. Even with the wires, which I couldn't see from up here, but you got all those wires out there supporting it. I don't know if it's going to last much longer. Maybe next 5-10 years, it's just going to be a big pile of wood. So if you get a chance, come up here and take a look. It's pretty cool. So we're going to eat lunch up here, and then we're going to head across the valley to Mosquito Pass.
Oh, I was like, why are you holding your pinky like that? And I realized, oh, you have a band-aid on it. You got wounded.
At 13,185 feet, this is the highest pass that you can drive over in Colorado. And unfortunately, this is where we're going to be ending the video too. It has only been 6 days, but it's been an incredible 6 days. Colorado, as you probably are aware, is a beautiful state, and just seeing all the colors here in the fall, it's something else. It's like a whole new state. If you haven't been here in the fall, you've got to come here and see it. So we're going to head home now. If you've enjoyed the video, make sure you give it a thumbs up, subscribe to the channel. I have to say thanks to my wonderful wife over there. She's been doing all the driving, and without her I wouldn't have been able to actually do any of the drone footage or any of the videoing, so she's helped me out a lot. And also thanks to my Patreon subscribers, sorry. Without them we couldn't have come here at all. And if you're interested in getting some of the tracks and the waypoints, where all the places we've camped, all the viewpoints that we've seen, and some other places that we've seen on the way, you know, if we see a good campsite, we always mark it on Gaia for those of you who are on Patreon. So if you're interested in getting those, check it out and sign up. Thanks for watching.